Hey everybody, it's Ginger here with PetServices.Pro, a show for you and your pets. If you're wanting to raise chickens in the city or the country, then you are in the right place. I'm about to show you what your coop will need so you can have these wonderful birds in your backyard or farm without having to figure out what they need. I understand that having chickens can be confusing because they have certain housing requirements, but don't worry, because today I'm going to share with you what your coop will need if you are building a chicken coop. Got questions? Leave them in the comments below. We love questions and we'll answer them. Let's go. Whether you live in the country or the city, you can have chickens. They are fun to watch and provide both meat and eggs, or you can just keep them as pets. Most urban areas don't let you keep roosters, and some neighborhood associations won't allow chickens, so check in before you invest. Of course, chickens need a place to live. They aren't really the kind of bird you can keep in a cage in your house. They need to live outside. So today, we're going to talk about building a chicken coop. How big the coop will be is going to depend on a few things. How many birds will you want? Will you want a few for eggs, or a big flock to butcher as meat? If it's for meat only, then you won't have to worry about nesting boxes, but you will need both a dry area and a fenced area for them to go outside to scratch and get sunlight, and a place for them to perch on at night. If you're having chickens for eggs, then you need to include nest boxes for them to lay their eggs. It's exciting to go out every day and check how many eggs you got. And there's nothing like eating a fresh egg. Oh, yum. Also, are you going to house other birds too? Like ducks? Ducks are water birds and will need a place to get into the water. They are messy, so that area will probably need to be away from the main area. Do you have enough land or the right fenced-in yard for the birds to roam? Or can you build a chicken run? Chickens like to be scratching and picking bugs and getting exercise and eating plants. So a fenced yard is a good thing if you can have the space. They can scratch up your garden, so a pristine garden is not the place for them. Okay, so a coop will depend on your needs. You can make a coop out of a shed. You can buy smaller coops at feed stores. You can build your own. You can make them mobile so you can move them around the yard or field, or you can make them to stay in place. If the coop is mobile, this is called a chicken tractor, then you won't need to consider electricity. It won't be that big. If your coop is stationary, you may want to think about putting a light in it, but it's also not needed. Maybe some windows, but there's also not necessary since the birds will have an area to go outside. It will be easier on you if you locate the coop near a water spigot or where the hose can be reached. You will need to clean out and fill their water often, and once in a while, it's a good idea to completely clean and maybe power wash the coop to prevent bacteria and parasites from building up. A clean coop is a happy coop. Speaking of clean, you'll want the coop to be easy to clean. Can you fit in it easily? Can you reach everything? Are the nesting boxes easy to get to and change out the bedding? Can you reach the perches to clean them? Your coop will need to contain perches. Even though the chicken is considered a pheasant-type bird, they will perch at night, and they can go up pretty high, but will perch low too. They need food and water, and I prefer my feed bucket to be in a covered area where it won't get wet when it rains. I hang mine so they can reach it to eat, but not so they can scratch it all out of the container and waste it, or waste it as much. Chickens are a bit messy. Same with the water, although the water doesn't need to be kept out of the rain. Nesting boxes should be in a covered area, preferably a closed box with a hole large enough for them to get into and lay, but have a lid or an easy way for you to be able to get in and collect those lovely eggs and clean the boxes. They don't need to be very high off the ground. Even a plastic storage box with a hole cut in the side makes a good nesting box. You can set it up on a few bricks with boards across it to hold them. Coops you can buy at the feed store will already have the nesting boxes built in. Chickens require some sort of additional calcium source. Some people provide oyster shells that you can get at the feed store, and some others crush the eggshells and give them back to them to eat. If you do use the eggshells, crush them up small enough so that the pieces are small and easily eaten. If you leave them whole, the chickens may associate that shell with the eggs that they had just laid and may become an egg eater. Those eggs are for you, not them. The nesting box and the floor of the coop should have a bedding of some sort. This can be straw, wood shavings, sand, so on. The feed store has options. Straw or hay is good bedding for the nesting boxes. The hen wants it to be soft and secure for herself and her baby chicks that she thinks will hatch. To entice them to lay their eggs where you want them, you can buy fake eggs at the feed store, but a white golf ball will work just as well. They think it's a real egg and will lay there. You only need one per box. Straw or wood shavings on the bottom of the coop are a good option because they collect the chicken poop, food scraps, feathers, and other stuff and make it easy for you to shovel or scoop out and replace. This can be composted, feathers and all, and it makes very good fertile compost. Hay is okay too, but you have to be aware that hay can have seed in it which can sprout in your garden. Another thing about chickens is they like to take dust baths. The dust keeps mites and other parasites off their skin and helps to keep them cool when it's hot out. So, a place with dry dirt for them to dust in would be nice. It could be a large semi-shallow box you build, or may just be an area in the coop with dirt there instead of straw. If they roam in the yard or farm area, they will find their own places to dust. Chickens are flock birds and like to be with their own kind, so you'll need to have more than one. 3 is a good minimum number to have. They can entertain themselves pretty well, but they do make chicken toys to help them exercise and enjoy life. They can be stuffed with food, or they can simply be something that they peck at or roll around. Look into these. Fun to watch. Also, chickens will eat table scraps, greens, meat, bread, anything we eat. There are foods they shouldn't eat, but that's a different video. So if you want to give them scraps, have a separate box for that, since they will scratch around and eat those. They're happy to get those scraps, especially if they are in the coop all the time. A very important thing about the coop is that it must be secure from predators and vermin. There are those kinds such as raccoons, hawks, and owls that want the chickens. Those that want the eggs, such as weasels, and those that want the food, such as rats and mice. So the coop needs to be very secure. They will dig down to get in, so if your coop is small or is a chicken tractor, have a wire bottom on it so nothing can dig under and back up into the coop. The run part needs to have wire chicken fencing down a few inches into the ground to prevent digging under, small enough holes in the chicken wire to prevent vermin from crawling through the holes, and also need to be fenced across the top of the run to keep out hawks, owls, and other beasts that would climb up the coop like a raccoon. It's so hard to lose a chicken to a predator. Make sure the doors, egg boxes, and windows have secure latches because some creatures can actually open some and you don't want that. If the coop has electricity, you may want to consider a couple of low electric wires around the coop to keep out the unwanted animals. You can also get solar fencers so you can generate your own electricity for the wires. Chickens are super fun to watch. They provide us with lovely eggs and meat, so build a coop and get some chickens. You'll love them. If you're interested in discovering more about raising chickens in the city, check out our video about raising urban chickens at the first link in the description. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss more videos helping you take the best care of your pets and more. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.